Good Tuesday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about all my cars and trucks and motorcycles, SUVs, my addictions, my challenges, the Florida life, the popcorn, the kid, the gardening. Hey, good Tuesday morning there for all that tune in my channel. Thanks so much for tuning in each day and supporting the channel and participating and helping me get through another day, and hopefully I'm helping you get through another day because I enjoy talking to others through my channel. That just gives a lot of me enjoyment because I feel like I'm interacting with so many other people, and even though you're right next to me, but oh, my phone is already ringing. So what is this all about? This is always the challenges in my life with trying to manage things. Probably the kid, and no, I don't even know. So anyways, it's always about the adventures on my channel and taking care of things and managing things and coming up with content that hopefully, entices you to turn on my channel, watch me talk. And what do we talk about? I mean, what is the conversation for the Tuesday morning conversations? And I think to myself, what do we talk about when it's always a challenge sometimes for me to kind of figure out what would kind of be fun. And I thought to myself, what would be pretty cool is to talk about program. So programming or program, I kind of got a little distracted there with my phone because it just doesn't end. When you own your own company, you have family, it just doesn't end of people trying to get a hold of you and talk to you. And sometimes when I do my video, that happens. So anyways, I thought this morning kind of continue the conversations from talking about yesterday's computers, the super chips, artificial intelligence, and here we go. And you have in the background all the noise, but it's interesting. I think that is a guy on his own. Some homeowners here elect just to have their own personal landscaping guy come and do the work, and they don't want the general maintenance people to take care of it. But what that creates is now you've got borderline just about every day somebody in the neighborhood making noise. So, oh my gosh. And do we make another day here without the HOA going after my parents with the driveway? So it's very, very interesting on how we haven't received a letter, but I wouldn't jump up and down about that yet. But good God, I'm still here. Watching me, I'm sure you're like, wow, the Iceman's still in Florida. And I would have told you last week for me to be here Tuesday this week still. I'd be like, yeah, it'll probably be a long shot. I don't know if I can continue to be away from my business that long without being forced to go back and take care of problems, which that's always a challenge itself. But once again, I thought this morning we talked about the program. What is the program? What is the definition of a program? Well, in so many ways, program is more or less a definition of what you give a computer instructions. But I think more than ever, what program is this country in right now? I mean, sincerely, what is going on? And I'm sure so many can relate with that kind of comment there of, what is the program for this sitting administration and the powers to be in so many different aspects of things that are trying to be changed right in front of our eyes. And I think many people are very concerned about that because I think the new word you hear in this country is the culture revolution. And if you're kind of abreast to what that means, I'm sure you'd be like, yeah, Mr. Iceman, you're exactly right. There's a program going on, and it's called Culture Revolution. I don't think we're going to get too much into that conversation today. More about, to me, just talking about my motorcycles. And some people probably would be like, hey, where's the Street Glide ST? Well, there's nothing going on. The dealer that we dealt with, Crystal River, or Crystal Harley, that we went up to on Sunday by accident, never even on a mission to go buy a Harley-Davidson Street Glide ST for the kid, but that kind of started to play out a little bit at that dealership. Like I told you yesterday, the conditions of the buying the bike were not favorable for us to want to buy a bike. And the GM sales manager and finance guy all wrapped up in one, which that concerns me sometimes. You have a dealership where you have one guy doing multiple responsibilities. I don't know. I don't think they always have all the talent to really get things done the way they should, but who knows? But the whole point is that there's no new news because he was going to reach out to some other lenders and see if he could get us a better rate, a better deal, and he never called. And for me, buying motorcycles and cars and trucks all my life, When the dealer doesn't call you, it only means one thing. They don't have any news for you. So they'll call you if they know they can sell you a motorcycle or a car or a truck. So don't be offended if a dealership doesn't call you after you go there. It's more or less there's just nothing there. And they really don't feel like calling you to tell you that, per se. That's the facts. I've been blown away how many times I go out and try to buy cars, trucks, motorcycles, and I never hear back from a dealership. And I'm always just stumped on how they never even follow up to say, hey, Mr. Iceman, appreciate you coming by, but we can't get the deal done. A lot of times, just nothing, but it's not a real big deal. So, talking yesterday about the artificial intelligence, where we are, the supercomputers that are being developed, and the GPUs, semiconductors, versus the CPUs, all that stuff, the gaming, all the talk I talked about last week that kind of went into Saturday, went into Monday, and I just think, boy, oh boy, we're getting ready to witness the biggest programming ever in mankind. We're literally getting ready to witness the computers take over mankind. I mean, I know that's been talked about for years, but I think more than ever, this NVIDIA stock company, or this NVIDIA superchip manufacturing company of semiconductors that build these GPU processors of the computing, I think more than ever it's real. I think more than ever this OpenAI, this generative pre-trained transformer, ChatGPT, has created more than ever the access of mankind to program computers to become humans. I should say humanoid. I think that's really, really going to be just beyond incredible of what we're going to witness. But I think at the same time, I think the empty neighborhoods are going to be even more rampant than ever we've seen in our lifetime, where people, I think, are going to get so programmed to sit in their house and interact with these computers that are so lifelike that the whole, I think we're really going to witness the demise of mankind possibly more than ever. And I could be totally wrong, and maybe the artificial intelligence is going to make mankind that much better. But to me, I just think it's truly a evolution, or I should say the revolution of mankind being taken out of society. I really think that's going to start to play out. I think that people are just going to literally be sucked into a vacuum of all this technology where they're not going to get out and do what they used to do. They're going to use their home as their world, and they'll just pass up actually being physically involved in the world, and they'll be more mentally involved in sitting in their house and being sucked into the artificial intelligence and trying to create their own so-called perfect world. I think it's going to be crazy. I think we're going to be hearing stories. It's just going to be maddening. I think it's going to be incredible. The dark. I just think people will be living like in dungeons. It sounds kind of radical and far-fetched, but I just think that this artificial intelligence is truly going to, as they say here, it's programming mankind. And what is it programming mankind to do? Where is it all going? But we already know, sadly, in this media machine, the social machine, the computer machine, all the devices that are around us, we already know that the programming on how people think and act is more influenced more than ever in our times of people that are my age. And you're witnessing how people are being changed on how the way they think and they act and what they see is right versus wrong. And I think it just really should be very concerning. I think that more than ever we're witnessing through the social media and through the media machine of all these things, the devious things that are seeming to start to play out around us, especially in our country and culture. And what's the underlying program? What is trying to be accomplished? And I talk about Elon Musk all the time. Elon Musk, this guy has the most money per se of any human being on Earth, and in so many ways is in the making of having the most powerful companies of controlling so much of what goes on around us, of the whole transportation, you could say the medical, because of the having put a chip, a Neuralink in your brain. He has the Starlink for the internet access. He has all the Optimus technology going on that's going to create all the humanoid robots. He has the Tesla vehicles that he wants to be full self-autonomous driving vehicles. He's supposedly building the most elaborate, most advanced manufacturing company to make cars never seen by mankind. It will probably be borderline, not much of anything to do with mankind to be participating to build these vehicles. It'll be all automation. It'll all be the Optimus, all the computers, artificial intelligence. It's just incredible. So in so many ways, you just really have to wonder. I mean, I'll admit I have a pea-sized brain. I'll say that all day long to you. I'm not the smartest guy on this earth. That is not my presentation on my channel. It's more about, come on. You just have to believe mankind being taken out of the equation of interacting with society is going just to slowly disappear. And mankind, what is going to be his, I mean, what are you? Just a brain in a jar in so many ways? That's all you are? I mean, what is your physical capabilities? Because you're not going to have the program. I mean, right now, how many people are programmed to get out of bed each day and they have a routine? It's a program. You're mentally programmed every day. And that's the danger that we are in society. And even for myself, because for so many years, I could not get out of leaving my business, leaving my property. You have no idea how many years that I worked not getting away from my own world. And it wasn't until really 2017. So you're talking for me, you go through the 80s, from 1982 until basically 2017, I worked, and that's all I ever did is worked. I didn't take big vacations. I didn't have the luxury of it. I didn't have a great job. I mean, eventually I evolved into being my own business owner, but then I had huge responsibilities to maintain a business. If you're self-employed and have a small business, you know it's very challenging to escape your own world and being in business. And that's why I tell some people, I mean, I'll tell you straight up, if somebody told me when I'm 20 years old and I could, 21, 22 years old, and I was coming out of college and I could get hooked up with AOL back at the time, or in present day, NVIDIA, and I could come into the company and I had stock options, and those stock options grew by 100% in so many ways. Oh my gosh, the amount of money that you would make as a employee of that company, you would be a very wealthy person. And some people get so caught up in today's world that, if you're self-employed, you're going to make all this money. You probably are not. You're probably going to fail. In so many ways, I've told people over the years, you're so much better going to work for a corporation that gives you packages. They give you time off. They give you health care. I mean, that's more challenging today, but as time progresses, there's some very lucrative positions in the technology field that we know of. It's just by what we've been talking about. And if you get in the right company and the right package, you can be making $200,000 a year. If you're incredibly, very knowledgeable and you've got some years under your belt of software and code and all this other stuff, you can maybe be making $400,000 a year at a tech company. Wow. Most small business owners don't make that type of money. And plus, you're probably going to have health care benefits with the company. Plus, you're going to have possibly a future pension with the company. And also, you're going to have stock options. So at the end of the day, you could be far you could be far better off than me. Because my true beginnings was scraping nickels and pennies together to make it through getting my business going. And sure, I've had some great years, but it has to continue to go with my business. Otherwise, all this stuff disappears very quickly if I can't continue to keep my business healthy and the monies it makes. And that's the challenge. When you disappear from your business, the business doesn't run the same way. Every small business owner knows that's the challenge. When you walk away from your own business and have other people run it for you, it'll never be run to your expectations. So what happens is we get programmed. And the reason I'm talking about myself this morning is you can use this trip for me, a perfect example. And that's what I'm just telling you. That through the 80s and 90s, I didn't have the luxury of just going and taking 2-3 weeks away from my job or business. It just wasn't until recent times, in 2017, I really started to have incredible success, and I had the right people around me where I could start to actually move around, and I could start to actually have some time from my daily routine and my daily business. And so that brings us to present day. It wasn't for me literally getting away from my business here recently, finally, being able to get things in order and get back to see my mother And that's what it was more about. It was more about getting here to see my mother. It wasn't so much about me trying to get away from my business. It was about to see the condition of my mother as she ages and to be with my family. That was the number one driving force. Yeah, of course, I bring my toys down if I can, sure, and have some fun. But the point of that is, I never would have figured out that my programmed lifestyle in Virginia in some ways was killing me. That not knowing that I'm having a allergic reaction to having a dog dander to my dogs. And I'm living in my own environment, my own programmed environment, where I'm coughing and hacking like you can't believe, where I'm starting to believe that maybe I have lung cancer. I'm truly believing, I have smoked cigars throughout my life. And I'm the guy that puffs on them. And I'd be the guy to have like one cigar, not every night, but have a cigar here, a cigar there. And so you just start to think to yourself as you get older, it's like, wow, did that finally play out in my life? That me puffing on cigars here and there came to be, and now I have lung cancer? And I mean, these are things that you start running through your mind as you get older in life. And then the skin, I've been a guy always outside. I've always been outside. That's been my whole career. I've always been outside. I've always been out in the sun. I've been a huge boater throughout my life. So I've had a lot of exposure to the sun. And so seeing all these little things on my arms, my legs, I started to come to think, you know what? I have skin cancer. I don't have to go to dermatologists and have this stuff removed. Wow. It wasn't for me breaking out of my program, me mentally forcing myself to say, look, you got to get away from business. You got to get out of town. And you just have to separate yourself. And that's a challenge that people can't do. People can't separate themselves because they're just programmed, same thing, day in, day out. So for me, I've been blessed. I've come to Florida, and I've only stayed here 3, 4, 5 days, maybe even not of a week. I'm not so sure to figure it out what others helped me figure out my channel. And it was even embarrassing in so many ways for me to disclose on a Saturday morning video that, hey, something's going on. My health seems to be changing. And so many people reached out and said, look, you're this is what's going on, man. You've got allergic reaction to your own dogs. It's the dog dander. Wow. So I had to break out of my own program. But yet today, we live in a society more than ever where even my brother, I've talked about it many times, and this is nothing against my brother. It's family. We have our moments. My brother and I, we get into big blowout arguments, and my brother is so loud, you would think that it's going to be me and him, rolling around the ground fighting. It's just my brother is very extremely loud. He just can't hear. He cannot hear. It's very challenging. You have no idea how challenging it is to interact with my brother when you try to start to explain things to him. He doesn't want to hear it. He don't want to hear it. He just has hell bent. He knows the answer. Who doesn't know these type of people? We all have that in our families. So people get programmed in their daily routine, and more than ever, I think we live in a society that these major media companies are the likes of Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, they get these people programmed, Newsmax, to listen to this content that programs them to look at the world totally opposite from the way you look at the world. And it's really bad because it's day in, day out. It's like clockwork. I guarantee you, people watch my channel right now can say, oh yeah, I have a friend or I have a family member, and they get out of bed in the morning, and sure, it's the routine. They get out, they shower, get their coffee made, they sit down, they turn the TV on. And which news station do they turn on? So they're being programmed right there from out of the gate to start the day of being programmed. And then they do their thing, and then eventually, if they have to go to work, or maybe they're a remote worker, and working even enables them even more time to sit there and be programmed to watch whatever they're watching, whatever they want to get revved up about, because they don't like the way others look at society and view society, and that's the challenge more than ever. That's why the Cultural Revolution is here on our doorstep, because of how people are being programmed to think what is right versus wrong. And the media machine just continues to program people to listen to their rhetoric, and it convinces them on how they should be programmed to interact in today's society, which we're witnessing more than ever, on how people cater to just radical views and ideas, and you think to yourself, where is this coming from? How can a person truly support removing the police infrastructure, and how can people support people having lawless cities? How could people support people having the right to steal things with no consequences? How could people support people beating up other people and not have to go to jail. I mean, you can start going through a list of where's the programming coming to these people in our society that illegal immigration, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? You're a mean person if you don't support helping others coming from foreign countries that want to come here to live in a better life. You're not a good person because you're being mean to these people, versus where is the legal immigration? Where is the proper procedures and steps? Oh no, that's forget all that. I mean, more than ever, and you have to say to yourself as an individual that's not being programmed to think that way, and that's the challenge, because others don't get programmed into these radical views and ideas that we know are total failure programs. And if you're a computer whiz, or you're a mechanic, or whatever tasks or skills you have, a plumber, electrician, a doctor, it could be numerous positions in life that if you don't follow the right program for the proper steps and procedures, what you do, it's a failure. But yet we're living in a society today more than ever that's being programmed for the biggest failure in society of our country, possibly in front of our eyes. And some people are like, Mr. Iceman, you're kind of getting radical. Where's the fun? Where's the fun? Well, I have fun, but at the same time, it's very dangerous to just think everything's so beautiful and so great and you're in la la land. And that's where we are. So many people are like, what's the big deal? Here comes the garbage truck. So when you live in these neighborhoods, it's the noise. Yesterday, the landscaping crew was here, and it's the lawn mowers, the blowers, the weed whackers. It's all day long. It's the noise. And so the neighbors over here are gone. And what was that program over there? That can kind of get deep and personal on that. So I go down that path. And where's Popcorn the Kid? Now, if you're watching my channel, my daughter did a great job. She designed this garden. She took out the plants that, ironically, they what is going on now? So they got garbage out there on the road. So isn't that nice? So anyways, my daughter, my father spent the day yesterday re-gardening his little area. It's a great video. You got to watch it. My dad's such a character. That's why my dad has always been so much fun in my life to hang out with. He's funny. He's fun. He's always stayed youthful, and he's been very open-minded in so many ways. And so anyways, so I think my daughter did a great job. I think she really did. I always tell my daughter that, you know what, in life, there's no doubt in my mind you're going to succeed in life, because tell me how many people could get that creative and make that nice, pretty little garden, and people get paid to do that. Landscapers, oh my gosh, in hindsight, when I was younger, there's no doubt in my mind I probably would have been in the landscaping business had I known how much money you really can make in that. Now there's the Popcorn and the Kid that are tied up behind the trash truck trying to get back home because they have food for my mother. They got coffee for me. So they have food for me. And there you go. It's that guy there. Think that guy gets a workout? I mean, come on. That guy gets a workout. So I'm going to have to go move the garbage can now, because will they be able to get in without hitting it? Just about. And there they are. 2 peas in a pod. Look at them. Watch out. Watch out. Don't get run over. That's good. That's good. That's good. He hit my door. He's gonna hit my dually. Back up a little bit. You're going to hit my dually. Perfect. You're good. Yeah, you're good. It's this big fender here. He'll end up opening the door up. And one guy said in my chin, there she is. Look, there they are. Like attitudes. So it's their program. There's Popcorn. Yeah, as he puts it in gear, goes through the garage, right? Does anyone see these things happen before? So what's the attitudes of these two this morning? Well, they're preoccupied. So it kind of, takes my channel and gets me kind of distracted as well. But anyways, back to that, lowrider or the lowrider. She got a lowrider ST. She loves the bike. They watch my channel. This is not about her not being happy with this. But in some ways, it would be pretty cool if I could take this and trade it for the Street Glide ST. I would do it. The downside is we didn't buy it but last July, and it's going to be negative numbers. I'm going to write a big check to make that go, and I just don't want to do it. Yes, I will come and get it. Hey, look at your garden. Isn't it beautiful? How do you like your landscaping project?
I love it.
Beautiful. Here comes John Dalton of Yellowstone. Kevin Costner. Oh, you know, it's really interesting. Only one person, and I complimented that person, figured out I have new glasses. I have new glasses. My other ones were totally black frame. This only has it on the top. So I was very impressed. I was like, wow, really good eyes. So when I was up in Virginia, I got my eyes checked. Here he comes. Look at him. He's sporting the blue shorts. Look at the guy. Blue shorts.
Come on. These are black.
What's the word of the day today, Popcorn?
The word of the day is nothing is forever. Whether you want to believe it or not, nothing is forever except one thing. God is eternal.
There you go. There you go. He's right. Great advice. Great wording by Popcorn in the blue shorts. Looks like he's going to go play some tennis or something. Or he's going to go play golf. Looks like he's got that look with him. I don't think he's swung a club in 6 months to a year, right? When's the last time you swung a club? When's the last time you hit a golf ball?
I don't remember. It's been so long.
Really? Probably about a year or two?
I even forgot what side I stand on.
All right. Get in there and have some more coffee.
Hey, did you bring this out here?
I did. Yeah, I had it out here. I was playing music yesterday.
Did I listen to that?
Yeah, it's a great little device.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll leave it there.
All right. There you go. The Popcorn and the kid. The kid seems to have a little bit of an attitude today. No telling with that. But you know what? You ladies out there, you're not easy to deal with. And my wife, she's so cool. She's calling me and checking in. And she's like, look, she's like, I'm not calling you to tell you to come home. And she's like, you got to stay there and take care of your mother however long you have to be there. Well, for me, yeah, at some point we have to go back. Get the garbage can, back up to the house, and get that out of the way. Surprised my neighbors didn't get their garbage can out last night, but they're not home a lot. They're usually gone most of the time. So, yeah, so anyways, my wife called me and was like, you know, hey, what about Kiefer? So Kiefer's been in training. Let's watch my channel. Kiefer's been in training now. He'll be in training close to 3 weeks. Wow. Isn't that pretty cool? So Kiefer's getting a lot of training. Will we even qualify to own him? That's what I tell my wife. It's like, will we even qualify to own that dog? That dog's going to go from, this dog right now, he's hanging out with one of his brothers, hanging out with his dad. He's getting trained. He's going to dog shows, because that's what our trainer does. She travels around. I mean, he's having a time of his life. He's hanging out with two of his buddies. So he's going to go from that lifestyle to come back to the redneck lifestyle. I mean, come on. He's going to come back to the Iceman's property with the other dogs that are growling at him. They ain't happy. You know what I mean? I mean, come on. So I'm like, will he be happy coming back to see us? Will he be like, you know what? I'm more happier here. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me. Will he even remember us? Will he know us? I just, that's the first time ever for me I put a dog in the training. All the dogs I've ever brought up, for the most part, they just kind of acclimate to their environment, and they are what they are. They have property to run around, so I'm not so concerned about having to be in public places. We had the Wheaton Terriers down here for many years, walking the neighborhood. We were blessed on having Amanda with the dog trainer to take care of Kiefer, and for the future, we come back. You know, when we come back down here again, he's going to get more obedient training. So, but I don't think that I qualify to own. I have the obedience that he'll have. I don't think I'll even qualify. I mean, wow, people are real dog people. You know, that's a real. I mean, it's a real talent. Everybody out there that does all this stuff. But anyways, so back to the program. But here's the thing: society of all these vehicles now, you program them. And it about drives you nuts. I was talking about this all the time on my channel, on these motorcycles, where you got to program your phone to interact with the motorcycle. And even for me, I've got a headset setup for this bike. I've been too damn lazy to set the damn thing up. I mean, I'm not lying to you. I have a headset that I bought from Harley Davidson that can be used to pair with that bike over there and make it where I can interact with the whole infotainment center. But I've just been like, I just feel like screwing with it. I just like this bike where you turn it on, my phone pairs right to it. I don't have to have another damn device. But that's the whole challenge. And then we go to these motorcycles, especially the new CVO, the new 2024 technology, you have different ride modes where you can go into the motorcycle and you can program it to the way you want it to behave, depending on the characteristics of the environment that you're in. You can change the shock settings. Like the Lowrider ST, we'd have to put a block on the back end and lower it 1 inch to program the bike in so many ways to fit the daughter's stature to be able to ride it. Then you go to these trucks and cars. I've talked about it a gazillion times. You program the truck. You got to go in and you got to program your phone to interact with the truck. But then you can go in and you can program the truck when I'm towing the truck. I can program the truck for what trailer I'm pulling behind it by the dimensions, because it has the trailer tow package that creates the anti-sway so the trailer doesn't walk behind it. Then we get into these like the Bronco. You can program it into so many different rides on off-road, on-road, Baja, mud, snow. I think even in the back of the trail, the back end, I think these tires turn just a little bit or something. This has the Haas package. But inside the truck, you can program it to the different environments. Look at this tree. Anybody out there, I'm not going to do it. But I wish I would have killed this damn thing 7 years ago. It trashes everything. It is the worst in the world. I truly wish I would have injected this tree with crap in it to kill the damn thing. Look what it does. If you walk around the neighborhood and other people's driveways, like my neighbor there, his car is not even close to trash to mine. My neighbor across, right here, his car isn't even close to being trash as mine. Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst. I talk about all the time. My dad's, roof, the gutters. It's just, oh my gosh, how stupid can you be? Hey, anybody out there goes to college, I'm gonna give you a fair warning. You're not as smart as you think you are. I'm sorry. Sorry to break the bad news. As you get older in life, this is what I tell people all the time. This is my running joke in life. I've told it before. When you're a kid growing up, you're programmed. So you see, look at your parents. They're the smartest people in the world. You kind of get in those teenage years, and you start questioning that. You really start questioning if your parents are that smart or not. Especially get a little older in teenage years, you really start to look at your parents that they're really, in so many ways, just stupid. And then you kind of get in your 20s, and you're kind of starting to go through the life cycle of getting going. And you do kind of, in some ways, start to look at your parents like, yeah, they kind of have some sense, but they're still just stupid. So by the 30s, you start to kind of have a little different view of life, because you've gone through the challenges of getting going your own. You've probably gone through relationships. You've probably gone through financial hardships. It's just a cycle of life. You look at views and ideas differently. If you go to some colleges, you probably look at your parents that they're the terrorists of the world. If you go to the right professor's college, he will change your mind and program you to look back at how you were brought up, and probably really make you feel like your parents are maybe the possibly worst people in the world. I mean, sincerely, this goes on. And so then you kind of hit your 40s, and you probably now have really started to understand life better. And you're starting to probably appreciate your parents' views and ideas and kind of really start relating with them. And then by the time you hit your 50s, you're really at that point in life where you've been around half a century, you've seen a lot, and you've seen family and people perish and go, and you've seen friends that have changed, and you've seen others become incredibly successful, others fail. And you start to have more compassion in your life. But then you start to realize that you do stupid things, that you start to make stupid mistakes. I mean, you really do. You start to think to yourself, wow, how could I have done that? That was so stupid. And then by the time you're 60s, I mean, truly, it may happen before that. This is the running joke. You're going to look at yourself in the mirror and you're going to say, you know what? I was right. My parents are frickin' stupid. Look at me. If you get that message, you've been around. You get it. So your parents, in so many ways, they're stupid. But guess what? For all you young guns out there, eventually you're going to catch up one day and understand you're just as everybody as stupid as they are as well. But the good news is, us stupid people, we like each other because we get it. Who wants to be around the arrogant SOB? I don't. And that's why my family and my dad and my mother have always been so great. Never judged me. They always had confidence in me. Sure, they wanted me to go to college, but they never, ever forced me to go to college. And they always had the belief in me that I would do all right. I'd be okay. And that's how I look at my daughter, because this has been very challenging. where some are like, "Yep, you made a huge mistake. You're not forcing your kid to go to college." Hey, she's gone to college. She's able to go off to war and be called for draft and sacrifice herself. In my views, in my eyes, my daughter has the right to pick what she does want to do, doesn't want to do. And I'm at the age in life where, why do you have to go to college right out of high school? I mean, what's going on? Like, you quit learning? I mean, my wife right now is finishing up her degree at Harvard. So I'm not lying. My wife now is going to graduate with a master's at Harvard this spring. We'll be going to Harvard this spring. My wife doing online schooling. So here's my wife. Went to school out of college, went to college out of school, but it isn't over. And so for me, that's why I think, okay, so what? What if my daughter decides when she's 22 or 23 or 25, if she wants to go to online schooling or wants to get back involved? I mean, I don't know. But with this artificial intelligence, where is it going? Where is it going? It's going to go to the machine feeding you information and doing everything for you in so many aspects. Why do you need college besides to be brainwashed by the professors of the country to have you have these cultural revolution views and ideas possibly? I mean, is that what's going on? Is that the underlying goal? I mean, I don't know. It gets deep and heavy, and I'm just not going to sit here and spend all morning on that conversation, but just views and ideas and thoughts. And so what is our life about right now? It's about program. We're witnessing the biggest program of computers ever in mankind, ever in society. And we're just going to watch the next 3 to 5 years what's going to probably, you're going to be like, wow, I never even thought of that, never even envisioned or saw that. I mean, my brain ain't big enough. I'm not creative enough to figure out what lies down the road with all this artificial intelligence. I know there's a lot of great, good stuff for it, but I think we're going to witness some really crazy stuff with it. Anyways, that's it. I'm just getting too much. I mean, it's so crazy. This neighborhood, deliveries, people moving in, people moving out, people getting furniture, blah, 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 da, 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 da. It just doesn't end. I mean, where is, in this neighborhood, do you think anybody's hurting financially? I mean, all the gloomer doomers, for all the Dan Mans out there and all these YouTube channels that are saying it is over, beyond over. It's over. Everybody's losing everything. I mean, it's just beyond believable. People can't buy it. I mean, down here in Florida, I'm not seeing it. I'm waiting for that piece of property to be worth half. Anybody out there knows that there's a beautiful piece of property here in Florida that I can buy, where I can bring all my cars and trucks down here and hang out here half the year, that's going to be half the price? Yeah, sure. Let me know. Reach out. Let me know. I don't want the trailer park. I know you probably could qualify for Mr. Iceman, but whatever. So anyways, so there it is. That's the morning program conversation. As always, I really appreciate those that watch my channel. Share the channel. Help it grow. If it's growing, I'm growing. If I'm growing, you're growing. And that makes me work that much more harder to try to give you entertainment and information and content that makes us all have a lot of fun. That's the goal. To have a fun channel, not the doom and gloom channel. That's not my goal. So anyways, everybody, thanks so much for watching my channel. Appreciate really all the nice, kind words, support. And Mr. Sanchez, hello there. I do know about the trailering motorcycles. Mr. Sanchez is such a character. He reaches out wanting to help me any way he can. Need a lot of help, Mr. Sanchez. It gets heavy and deep. About putting these motorcycles in the transport mode. I've been trailering motorcycles up and down the roads for close to 10 years. So I know too well when you take these motorcycles, these Harleys, if you don't put them in transport mode, you will kill the battery on a motorcycle. But that's not what's going on with this motorcycle here. I think this bike has a bad battery because this bike here sometimes barely starts. So I think this is more of a battery issue. There's no reason for this bike to be in transport mode sitting here in my garage. And the fob is nowhere close to this motorcycle where it's constantly looking. That's a challenge with these motorcycles and cars. When you have these handheld fobs, there's always a signal being sent to these machines, and it can help drain the battery because your car is always looking for something because it's programmed. The cars are programmed always to be looking for that wireless technology in your pocket that enables the car to open up without having to get your key out and unlock the key. I already know. So these little buttons on the car. If you have your key fob in your hand, is this here senses your hand and the key fob, and the car opens up. If you don't have it, it doesn't open. So what happens is it drains the battery. I think it does on motorcycles more than anything. It's always looking for that fob. So just so anyways, but I appreciate Mr. Sanchez being a participant in my channel. That's great. So it isn't anything me calling you out by any means. I appreciate your ideas and views. You got great ideas, great views, and you're smarter than me. I'm sure of that. So anyways, thanks once again. Everybody have a great day. We have a great day. And how am I down here? It's a day-to-day thing. I literally could be showing you a video this afternoon. I'm packing up and having to go home. I don't know. So hopefully I can stay down here a little longer to be with my mother. That's the goal. And it's working out so far. So thoughts and prayers. Pray for a miracle. And have a blessed day.